Welcome back to Stoic Wisdom. There is no harsher betrayal than the one a man commits against himself by drifting aimlessly through life, untrained, unprepared, and unguarded. Life is not a gentle river carrying us to safe shores. It is a storm, unpredictable and merciless, and a man must be forged like steel to endure it. You must not ask for an easier life, you must become stronger. Today, we speak of the 6 essential skills every man must cultivate if he is to stand firm against the chaos of existence. Emotional control is one of the highest forms of personal mastery a man can achieve. It is not about suppressing feelings or pretending to be a stone. Rather, it is about understanding that emotions are natural impulses that should serve you, not enslave you. When anger arises, it is a signal, not a command. When sorrow surfaces, it is a truth to be acknowledged, not a burden to be carried into every interaction. A man who can recognize his emotional state without allowing it to dictate his behavior possesses true power. Life will offer countless provocations, a harsh word from a stranger, a betrayal by a loved one, an unexpected failure. But these moments are not what define you. Your response does. Without emotional control, you are like a ship at sea without a rudder, tossed about by every passing wave. With it, you are grounded, able to navigate through storms without being broken. Emotional control allows you to think clearly when others are panicking, to speak wisely when others are shouting, and to act with dignity even when treated unjustly. It gives you the ability to pause, reflect, and choose your response, rather than reacting impulsively and regretting it later. It transforms chaos into opportunity and pain into wisdom. Building emotional control is not achieved overnight. It requires daily practice, pausing before reacting, questioning your impulses, and cultivating an inner dialogue that seeks wisdom over vengeance, patience over anger, and resilience over despair. It demands self-awareness and humility, knowing that you are not immune to foolishness but striving constantly to rise above it. In a world where many are ruled by their emotions, the man who controls his own heart becomes rare, respected, and remarkably powerful. This is not an easy path, but it is one worthy of the man who seeks to live with true strength and purpose. Self-reliance is the foundation of a man's true independence. It is the ability to stand on your own feet, to meet your own needs, and to trust in your ability to face the challenges of life without constant dependence on others. In the philosophy of Stoicism, a man must understand that external circumstances are uncertain and often beyond his control. The only thing he can govern is himself, his thoughts, his actions, and his character. Self-reliance means not waiting for others to rescue you, not blaming others for your misfortunes, and not seeking validation or permission to pursue what is right and necessary. A man who is self-reliant does not crumble under pressure because he knows that his strength comes from within. He does not depend on the shifting opinions of others for his sense of worth. Instead, he roots himself in his principles and in the knowledge that he can endure, adapt, and overcome. In every phase of life, whether in career, relationships, or personal challenges, the self-reliant man looks inward first. He asks himself, "What can I do? How can I solve this? What is within my power to change?" In doing so, he transforms obstacles into opportunities for growth. Building self-reliance requires embracing responsibility, even when it is uncomfortable. It demands learning practical skills, cultivating discipline, and being willing to fail, and try again without complaint. It means viewing hardships not as injustices but as training grounds for resilience and wisdom. When a man becomes truly self-reliant, he earns not just freedom, but also respect, from others and from himself. He becomes a pillar of stability in a chaotic world, a man who does not merely survive but thrives because he has made his inner world stronger than any external force he might encounter. A man must develop the ability to solve problems effectively, for life is filled with challenges and obstacles that require creative solutions. The capacity to approach a problem with a clear mind, to break it down into manageable parts, and to find a viable solution is what separates those who stagnate from those who advance. Problem solving is not simply about intellect or knowledge, It is about having the mindset that no matter how complex the issue may seem, it can be navigated with patience, logic, and persistence. When faced with a problem, the Stoic approach is to first accept that difficulty is inevitable and that obstacles are opportunities for growth. It's crucial not to panic or be swept away by emotions. Instead, a clear, rational analysis is necessary. By stepping back, a man can gain perspective, identify the root cause of the issue, and determine a course of action that is in line with his values and goals. Problem solving is about breaking down the complex into the simple, analyzing each piece, and tackling it with steady resolve. This skill requires more than just quick thinking. It involves understanding one's resources and limitations. The man who can solve problems well knows how to use the tools at his disposal, whether they be practical skills, knowledge, or relationships. He is resourceful, adaptive, and resilient, never afraid to ask for help when necessary, yet always seeking to be the one who finds the answer. In cultivating this ability, a man can transform adversity into progress, never fearing the challenges ahead but embracing them as opportunities to sharpen his character and grow stronger in his purpose. A man must cultivate emotional control if he is to navigate life with wisdom and integrity. Life is unpredictable, and emotions, though natural, can often cloud judgment and lead to hasty actions that are regretted later. Stoicism teaches that emotions, when left unchecked, can steer us away from our true purpose, leading to impulsive decisions driven by anger, fear, or pride. True strength lies not in suppressing emotions, but in understanding and managing them. To master emotional control, a man must first recognize that he is not his emotions. Emotions are transient, they arise, they peak, and they dissipate. A man who understands this can acknowledge his feelings without allowing them to dictate his actions. This involves observing his emotional responses and reflecting on their origin, purpose, and impact. Rather than reacting impulsively, he chooses to respond thoughtfully, considering the long-term consequences of his actions. Emotional control also requires resilience in the face of adversity. When faced with challenges or provocations, the Stoic man does not succumb to frustration or despair but maintains a calm demeanor and clear thinking. He remains focused on what he can control and does not allow external circumstances to disturb his inner peace. In doing so, he is able to make decisions based on rational thought rather than emotional impulses. Mastering emotions doesn't mean eliminating them. It means understanding their role and not allowing them to interfere with a man's goals or values. By practicing emotional control, a man gains the ability to stay steady, make better decisions, and handle life's difficulties with composure. This self-discipline is an essential skill, one that strengthens a man's character and equips him to lead a life of purpose and clarity. A man must learn the art of self-reflection if he is to grow and live with purpose. Self-reflection is the ability to examine one's thoughts, actions, and emotions with honesty and objectivity. Without this practice, it is easy to become lost in the daily rush of life, reacting to circumstances without understanding why or how we behave the way we do. Through regular reflection, a man can gain insight into his motivations, identify areas of improvement, and align his actions with his deeper values. This skill requires humility and the willingness to confront uncomfortable truths. It is easy to blame others or external circumstances for one's failures, but true growth comes from looking inward. When a man takes the time to reflect on his actions, he becomes aware of his strengths and weaknesses, his successes and failures. This awareness provides a roadmap for personal development, allowing him to make more informed choices and avoid repeating past mistakes. Self-reflection also enhances emotional intelligence. By understanding the root causes of his emotions and reactions, a man can better navigate his relationships and interactions with others. It enables him to empathize with others' experiences, communicate more effectively, and make decisions that reflect his true self, rather than acting out of impulse or societal expectations. Ultimately, self-reflection is a tool for progress. It is not about self-criticism, but about self-awareness and growth. A man who practices self-reflection regularly learns from his experiences, adapts to challenges, and continuously improves. This process of self-examination strengthens his character, equips him to handle adversity, and ensures that his life is aligned with the values that truly matter to him. A man must learn to cultivate resilience if he is to thrive in the face of life's inevitable hardships. Resilience is not simply about enduring difficulties, but about adapting to them, learning from them, and emerging stronger in the process. Life is full of challenges, personal setbacks, failures, disappointments, and obstacles. Without resilience, a man may easily become discouraged, defeated, or overwhelmed. However, with resilience, he can confront adversity head-on, accepting it as part of the human experience and a means of growth. Resilience requires a mindset that embraces discomfort and uncertainty as opportunities rather than threats. It involves accepting that pain, failure, and hardship are not signals of personal inadequacy, but rather essential components of the journey toward self-mastery. A resilient man does not view setbacks as permanent conditions, but as temporary states that can be overcome with effort, patience, and persistence. He understands that life is a series of challenges, and each one presents an opportunity to improve, to learn, and to become more capable. Additionally, resilience is about maintaining a sense of purpose and focus, even in times of uncertainty. It is about continuing to move forward, despite setbacks, by concentrating on what can be controlled and letting go of what cannot. A resilient man knows that setbacks are a natural part of life and does not let them derail his long-term goals. Instead, he adapts, recalibrates, and persists with determination. Ultimately, resilience is a cornerstone of personal strength. It empowers a man to endure life's inevitable difficulties without losing his direction, to rise after every fall, and to face the future with confidence and resolve. By cultivating resilience, a man builds the fortitude to weather any storm and continue on his path toward fulfillment and purpose. These are not optional skills. They are necessary armors. Without them, life will batter you into bitterness and regret. With them, you will meet life on your feet, unyielding, unafraid, and unconquered.